Hey guys, Sonyx here. Today I'm going to teach you the best controller settings for Season 26. Now the very first thing is you're going to go to Gameplay, you're going to go to Interact Prime Style, keep that on Compact. Now if you have it on default, you see these large text boxes, this is going to obscure your vision. Like if you're trying to loot and someone's shooting at you, you're probably not going to see the enemy right in front of you because this thing's going to block your entire vision. If you have this set to Compact, it's going to hide all of that, right? And the more you play this game, the more you know what all these items do, right? So you just keep that on off, please, please, please. Button hints, keep that on off. Crosshair damage feedback, keep that off. Damage numbers is to stacking. Now stacking means that all your damage, it adds up. Like if I do, you know, if I hit this guy, it's gonna do 13 plus 13 equals 26. Right? It's not just going to say 13, 13, 13, 13 like the other ones would. So keep that on stacking so you kind of know how much damage. You don't have to do the math in your head. Enemy health bar, keep that enabled, of course. Ping opacity to default. Enemy highlight enabled. Yes, it's going to highlight enemies. You kind of want to know that. Obituaries, keep that on. So it kind of shows you for players and kills and deaths around the area. So this is really important. So this kind of gives you information of who's around or you know, who's dying. You know, especially if teammates or who's the, you know, kill leader and all that. So keep that to on. Minimap rotation, keep that to off. Weapon auto cycle and empty, keep that to on. Because if, let's say your weapon runs out, you know, forbid, it'll switch to the next weapon that you have without having to press your triangle or switch weapon. So keep that to on. Always sprint on. This is really, really, really important for movement. So keep that to on with wall bounces and all that. Auto run, I keep that at off. Jetpack glide control, this is for Valkyrie. This is really important as a Valkyrie main. I always recommend keeping on hold. So definitely do that because that essentially helps you with your movement. But if you want, you could try toggle, but I recommend on hold essentially for almost all situations. Incoming damage feedback to 3D. Now taking damage, close the death box or crafting menu. Please, please, please keep this to off. The reason why is because if you're in game and you have this to on, you're just gonna be kicked out every time you use a death box or using a crafting menu if you take any damage. Let's say you're in Storm, right? And you're trying to craft your teammates or you're trying to make an extra bat. As soon as you get shot at, or if the storm is starting to tick you, which is like every second, then you're going to be unable to really do anything in the storm. And let's just say you're trying to armor swap, right? While you're armor swapping, and let's say you're about to grab the armor swap, like this right here, like the shield cell, pretend that's the armor swap, or you're trying to grab anything here. As soon as you get shot at, you're going to get kicked out of this. So keep that to off. That's going to be like the most important thing here in this gameplay section. I would recommend to have that on off. Health and ammo pop-ups, keep that to off. Health and ammo voice lines to off. Arsenal's map and HUD icons maximum. Off-screen portraits on. Hop-up, pop-up on. Streamer mode, keep that to off. Anonymous mode disabled. Usage sharing enabled. Performance display on. This shows you all the frame rates and everything, you know, kind of in your lobby. Communication filter to everybody. Tutorial systems, I keep that to on just in case. Reticle default, laser sight default. You can actually customize this to whatever you'd like. A lot of people recommend kind of going with a pink because this is going to be contrast almost to every single map. I still like the default, the red. You know, it's just classic, but the pink is a really good one as well. Colorblind, I keep that to off. Subtitles, I keep that off. Subtitle size normal. Enable chat features off, and then incoming voice chat off. Text to speech off as well. In controller settings, this is really important because I use the default binds. Now a lot of people might think this is weird, but I kind of got the hang of doing everything. Look, I can super glide, I can bunny hop really well. So just stick with one and then just get better at it. But for me, I got really, really, really well with the default binds. Now with interact reload, tap to use and reload is really good. Crouch button, I keep that to toggle. The reason why this is really important to keep this in toggle is because for wall jumps, it makes it easier because you're just pressing your crouch once. You're not having to press your hold for your crouch. That makes it much more difficult to pull off wall jumps, okay? Keep that to toggle at all times. Aim button, I keep that to hold. Survival slot button, I actually keep that on off, but so that way I could just, you know, kind of inspect really, really easily. That's how you kind of inspect the controller. But if you really don't care about the whole flashy thing, keep that to on, so that way, you know, for survivability, you could just hold your left button and then bam, you know, heat shield or respawn beacon or like I said, evac tower. It makes it much easier to press that. You don't have to actually press your backpack and then press your survival slot button right here in the bottom right. So going with that on actually might be a better idea in some cases, like if you're playing ranked or really high sweaty games. Trigger dead zones default. Menu cursor speed, I recommend running that like right around this. You see where it says default there? And then you see the menu cursor speed. It's just going to be like 40%. Like this whole bar is 100%. 50% is going to be like halfway. So it's like 40-ish%. It's like halfway in between this little second dash here. You can see it. It kind of forms like a little letter T. So I recommend it running there. The reason why is because if you're trying to perform armor swaps, let's do it one more time, but much faster. See that? So having that cursor speed like right around there is on the absolute sweet spot that you can have it on. If you have it a little bit faster, it's going to be much more difficult. Like if you have it maxed out, like you're gonna miss, because you're gonna try to grab it and then you're gonna accidentally grab the mag, or you're gonna accidentally grab the ammo. Or so if you have it too low though, it takes way too long. It's like you're a snail. You see that? Way too long. And if you're trying to grab something up here, if you're trying, like, you see how slow that is? Having it like right around this area here, sweet spot for grabbing your, you could just bam, and you can kind of train your mind to kind of know exactly where it is. It's gonna be like right around here. So every time you bam, armor swap, and then you could kind of grab the loot and things much faster. And if you want to go up, you could train yourself and go gradually much faster, but just starting here is a great area that you want to be in. Movement and aiming, I know a lot of you guys want this. Look sensitivity, keep that at 4. ADS, you want to keep this at 3. This is the standard setting you want to have for the best aim and movement in this game. A lot of pro players stick with this 4-3 linear, okay? Now, linear is going to be down here. Response curve linear, okay? 4-3 linear. This is going to be the best combination you can get for aiming and movement. Now, the reason why I choose linear is because linear is raw input. I'll teach you what raw input means. If I move my stick left, the character moves left. If I move my stick right, then my character moves right. If I go up, go down, it literally just stays the same. You see that? Now, if you try something else like classic or something, or any of these other ones, what happens is that when you move left or you move right, it actually will kind of negate some movement. It's not perfectly still. It's not perfectly what you tell it to. With linear, it literally is just exactly what you tell it to, which is just raw input. So it makes the aim much more steady. So 4-3 linear, that's the best thing that you want to practice. Okay? Per optic settings, I actually just keep that off. I mean, I just keep everything on default. I don't want to change any of that. Look dead zone, keep that on small. I have slight stick drift. And if you have super large stick drift, you want to keep this on large because it kind of helps prevent stick drift, but your aim isn't going to be as steady as it is if you have small or no dead zone at all. Okay? That's the only difference here. So small is a really good recommended one. Movement dead zone, keep that on small to kind of match as well. Inverted look, I keep that off. Vibration, I keep that on default. Now, you can actually go with off for if you're trying to go for aim, because what happens is if you have your vibration on, the little vibration can skew off your aim a little bit. So it's kind of, this helps steady your aim a lot more because you're not trying to counteract the recoil or anything. I mean, you're not trying to counteract like the vibration in the controller. But see, I'm actually doing much more terribly because I love having this on. Now, the reason why is because I've always played it with on my whole life, and I like the immersive feel that you get when the controller is kind of vibrating. And another reason why is because for me, movement techniques are essential to feel the vibration in your controller. When you're trying to do movement techniques like the super glide, getting that vibration is like, it isn't just pure ecstasy, but it also is kind of like signaling, oh, I just did that movement technique correctly. Like the super jump, the controller will vibrate in a specific way that signals to me that movement technique was performed well. So I just keep that on default for movement preferences. Advanced look controls, I keep that to off. Now here's something really important. If you want to have advanced look controls to really narrow down your aim, you can mess around with these. That I'll probably do one in a later video, but you want to keep this all to 0, because what happens is that if you start messing around with all these little things here, right? Let's just pretend, right? And then you turn this to off, your aim will still get affected slightly. Even marginally, it'll still get affected. So you want to just keep this all at 0 because it'll still like bleed over even if you keep that at off. I know it's really strange, so keep that at off, and then make sure in the bottom here, target compensation, that's going to be on. That's literally your aim assist. So it literally says right there, disabling this is not recommended. So this is aim assist. Keep that on, and melee target compensation, keep that on as well. Video settings, nothing too much here. The main thing here is keep your FOV at 110. So this maximizes just how much more area that you can cover. It's not going to be zoomed out in as much. Obviously, we're not going to be playing at 70, right? Let's try. See that? Never play on this, guys. This is... What are you doing? What are you, Vantage now? So, 110. Zoomed out, right? You really don't need to zoom in that much. Another thing is to keep your FOV scaling to disabled and then your sprint view shake to minimal. Having these keeps your aim much more steady because your screen won't shake as much, and then it won't do this weird glitchy thing when you have movement abilities as well. Audio, the only thing here is just make sure your audio is set to 100. I really like to just turn off all the music in the lobby music volume as well, because it kind of is really distracting when you're in game. But that's the main thing for here. Practice those settings and let me know exactly how you guys feel about them. If there's any other types of videos that you guys want to see, please comment it down below. If you did learn a thing or two from this video, please consider leaving a like, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. My name is Sonyx. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and please never forget to take care.